Have you ever wondered how a single star can redefine the meaning of beauty, artistry, and timeless charm in 2025? What if the glow of Kimtaehyung was not only unstoppable but destined to reach a point where history itself bows before his presence? Stay with us, share your thoughts in the comments, hit like if you feel the same, and don't forget to subscribe because the story you're about to read is more than news. It is history unfolding before your eyes. How does one man, with nothing more than a voice that drips with velvet and eyes that glisten like constellations, continue to capture the pulse of millions across the globe? How is it possible that in 2025, after years of reigning as one of the brightest stars in the music universe, Kimtaehyung, known to the world as V of BTS, burns brighter than ever before, as if time itself has surrendered to his glow? These questions are not just echoes in the chambers of fandom. They are whispers of destiny, reminders that some stories are not bound by years, trends, or fleeting fame. Some stories are eternal, and Taehyung's is one of them. The year is 2025, and while the world spins through political shifts, technological revolutions, and cultural upheavals, there is one constant that unites millions across borders: the timeless allure of Kimtaehyung. His name trends almost daily, his presence floods headlines, and his artistry, whether through music, acting, fashion, or simple silent appearances, continues to create seismic waves in pop culture. But what makes this moment different? What transforms Taehyung's glow from a familiar radiance into something that feels like the rebirth of stardom itself? To understand this, we must step closer into the paradox of a man who is both universally adored yet deeply enigmatic, both a public treasure and a private mystery. Imagine the first time you saw Taehyung walk across a stage. Perhaps it was his magnetic gaze, that famous V-stare, cutting through camera lenses and straight into the depths of your being. Perhaps it was his honey-laced voice, wrapping around each lyric as if he was whispering secrets meant only for you. Or perhaps it was simply the way he breathed, carrying with him a stillness that felt both calming and electrifying. That was years ago, and yet, here in 2025, it feels as if he has shared none of that magic. On the contrary, the magic has grown. The glow has intensified. And the question is, how? The answer may lie in the fusion of artistry and authenticity. In a world where celebrities often mask themselves behind curated images, Taehyung remains a paradoxical open book, both revealing and concealing in equal measure. His Instagram updates feel like fleeting postcards from another dimension. Small glimpses into a life that feels ethereal yet grounded. A cup of coffee, a sunset, a glance into the camera. These are not just photographs. They are chapters of a silent novel that only he can write, and only we, the audience, can interpret. In 2025, this authenticity has become rarer than diamonds, and that rarity is what makes his glow unstoppable. But the story does not end with aesthetics. Behind every photograph, behind every performance, lies the weight of a man who carries history. As part of BTS, Taehyung helped reshape the global landscape of music, proving that language is no barrier to emotion and that art knows no borders. As a solo artist, he has continued to redefine himself, taking risks, experimenting with sounds, and offering music that feels less like an industry product and more like a personal confession. His voice, often described as one of the most unique tones in modern music, has only matured with time. In 2025, when he sings, it is not just melody. It is memory. It is longing. It is home. And yet, perhaps the most surprising part of Taehyung's glow in 2025 is not just his artistry, but his humanity. In interviews, he remains soft-spoken, reflective, and often shy, as though unaware of the storm he creates every time he enters a room. In fan interactions, he shows a gentleness that borders on poetic, reminding us that beneath the global icon lies a man who loves deeply, who laughs freely, and who cherishes the very people who have built this bridge of love with him. This duality of godlike presence and human vulnerability is what turns admiration into devotion, headlines into history. So here we are, in 2025, standing at the edge of a story still unfolding. Kimtaehyung is no longer just an idol, no longer just a global superstar. He has transcended those titles, becoming something else entirely, a timeless star whose glow defies logic, time, and expectation. The world does not simply watch him anymore. The world orbits around him. But if his glow is this bright now, one must ask what comes next. Could there be another surprise waiting just beyond the horizon? Could Taehyung's artistry evolve into something so monumental that even history will struggle to keep up? Or is the greatest surprise of all the simple, enduring truth that Kimtaehyung was never just meant to shine for a season, but to illuminate for eternity? But what exactly makes Taehyung different from so many stars who rise and then fade away in the entertainment industry? What makes his light not just a seasonal spark, but an eternal glow that grows stronger with each passing year? The answer may lie in the way he lives authentically through every chapter of his journey. He has never tried to conceal his vulnerabilities, nor has he pretended to be someone he is not. In fact, it is that very honesty and openness that have made the world fall in love with him. In 2025, Taehyung's charm does not only radiate from the stage or camera lenses, but also from the way he exists in the lives of his fans. When he appears at an art event, the audience doesn't just see a K-pop idol. They see an iconic figure carrying an aura both calm and magnetic. Each time Taehyung walks into a room, the world seems to hold its breath. His smile is not just a curve of the lips. It is a universal language, capable of soothing any heart that witnesses it. Picture a room filled with flashing cameras, blinding lights, and deafening cheers. In the midst of all that chaos, there stands Taehyung in his simplicity and irony that only makes him shine brighter. Many artists strive to capture attention through extravagance, but Taehyung shines because of his serenity and sincerity. He doesn't need to shout to be heard. He doesn't need to pretend to be loved. His mere presence is enough to make the world pause. One moment still vivid in fans' memories was when he appeared at a public event earlier this year. Wearing a modest yet elegant suit, he barely spoke, and yet every step he took became headline news. Cameras struggled to capture the full depth of the aura he radiated. Fans flooded social media with words of admiration, once again reminding the world that Taehyung is not just a celebrity. He is a phenomenon. But behind all the glitter lies an emotional depth that makes his story even more touching. Taehyung is not just a singer or an actor. He is a source of inspiration for millions. Many fans find comfort in his smile, strength in his songs, and hope in his gaze. To them, Taehyung is a reminder that in a world often harsh and uncertain, there still exists someone genuine, loving, and filled with warmth. And that is where the true magic lies. He bridges the gap between the unreachable world of stardom and the everyday lives of his fans. He is not just someone to be admired from afar, but someone who feels close, almost as if he's speaking directly to each heart. This is why his allure in 2025 is not merely about looks or fame. It is about presence, about the way he transforms lives simply by existing. Now the question lingering in the minds of millions of fans is, where will Taehyung's journey lead next? Will he release new music that once again shakes the world? Will he surprise us with an acting role no one saw coming? Or is he preparing something far greater? Something even fans themselves cannot imagine. This curiosity has become the fuel that keeps the world anticipating his every move. But one thing remains certain, whatever he does, the world will turn its head. Because Taehyung is no longer just an artist, he's a symbol of timelessness in an industry that often thrives on the fleeting. A symbol that true beauty is not only about appearance, but about a sincere heart, a warm soul, and an aura that never fades. Yet when we talk about Taehyung, it is impossible to ignore the way he has built a bridge between himself and the world. He is not merely someone who appears on dazzling stages or glowing screens, but someone who, in his own way, has created an irreplaceable bond with his fans. In 2025, that bond is no longer just a simple connection, it has evolved into something sacred, an emotional tie that words can hardly capture. Imagine a young teenager in Europe, feeling isolated and alone, suddenly finding comfort in the lyrics sung by Taehyung. Picture a mother in Asia calming her restless child at night by playing his songs, or an adult in America rediscovering the will to live simply by watching Taehyung's warm smile at an event. These stories are real, and together they prove that Taehyung's influence extends far beyond the realm of entertainment. So, what is his secret? How can one artist create such an intimate closeness with millions of people he has never even met in person? The answer lies in the way he embraces humanity exactly as it is. Taehyung never builds walls between himself and his fans. It is as if he says, "I am human just like you. I laugh, I cry, I long, I dream." And within that honesty, he has found the key to unlock the hearts of the world. When he stands on stage, every note he sings feels like a personal confession. When he speaks in interviews, even the simplest words seem filled with meaning. And when he looks into the camera, it feels as though he is looking directly at each individual fan, delivering a silent message only the heart can understand. A message that whispers, "I am here. I am with you." In 2025, the entertainment world may be filled with competition, scandals, and endless noise. Yet Taehyung rises above all of it, not because he seeks sensation, but because he chooses the opposite path, the path of sincerity. The world may crave glitter and spectacle, but what it longs for most is authenticity. And that is where Taehyung stands, as a rare symbol of genuineness. As a star who not only shines, but warms. Of course, every step he takes now is accompanied by a looming question: what surprise is he preparing? Fans across the globe keep speculating. Some believe he will release a new album with deeper concepts. Others suspect he will dive more seriously into acting, revealing another layer of his extraordinary talent. Still others believe his biggest surprise will arrive in a form no one can predict, something only Kimtaehyung himself could bring into existence.